Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to GameSpot's E3 coverage. I'm here with Miguel Concepcion, and my name is Nick Margarita, and we had the opportunity to go to the Xbox showcase and play Sea of Thieves. So Miguel, what was your experience between last year and this year with Sea of Thieves?
Well, I naively thought last year that the game was actually going to be just based in water, and I should have known that there would be islands and treasure beyond just like the ship combat. So it was a pleasure to go back into the game and actually see what seems like a much fuller experience, where your team just like has these looks at a map, has these targets to choose from, these treasures to go after, and just it's this like really interesting game of teamwork. You can have like totally different experiences based on like how organized and how serious your team is. You can kind of like half-ass it, but you're not going to get the job done as more efficiently.
So you would say communication for Sea of Thieves is key to your success as a pirate crew?
Oh, absolutely, especially when you're playing with like other people online who could be spotting you from like how many like miles away, and you don't know that they're actually targeting you.
Right.
They could be like hijacking your ship while you're on the island, and that was something that actually did happen to me in my playthrough.
So a couple new features we want to go over. There were sharks in the water this time around, so if you're carrying your treasure back to your pirate ship, did you have any experience with any sharks coming and attacking you?
Oh, absolutely. The one thing I was happy about was the fact that I could actually attack sharks on the beach with my sword. It's easy to lure them to the beach, and we were able to make quick work of them. Thankfully that we could actually do sword combat while being like waist deep in the water.
Right. Which is pretty unique that they have that kind of threat, and it's not just skeletons on the island, it's also sharks. Going on off that, did you experience any of their new storm weather effects and features, whereas you're going with your ship, you might run into some stormy weather with some choppy seas?
There was the risk of that, but we were pretty organized in knowing where our island was, that by the time the storm was actually going to be a big risk, we were practically at our target island. So we didn't that wasn't really that much of an issue. I mean, there are more than enough hazards in this game, more than enough variables to consider.
Absolutely.
That we were happy that we didn't have to really factor that in.
And then I guess the last big new feature they introduced was the fact that you can fire yourself out of a cannon. Did you experience that, or did you fire any of your teammates out of a cannon? I did see some of my teammates get fired out of a cannon. I was so busy just like being focused on just getting the treasure to our ship, which we failed at, that I was just more than happy for my teammates, doing that. I heard you did that. Had a little opportunity to fire myself out of a cannon. Didn't go so well, but
I mean, despite the cartoony presentation and sort of the casual feel of the game, I mean, I did like there was a certain. You can play it as seriously as you like, to the point that you are playing like this traditional treasure hunter where you are actually using clues to walk X amount of paces left and forward, and you can actually start digging, and the treasure, if you follow the directions, is actually there. So there's definitely this tangible sense of reward in the game.
What were your kind of last thoughts for Sea of Thieves? Does this look like something you're really excited for in the coming year?
I love how tangible how rewarding it is, like when assuming that your team is on the same page, and once you actually get the treasure and you actually work, it's interesting how the work isn't even done when you get the treasure. You actually have to bring it back to your ship, and that in itself becomes its own challenge.
Well, thank you, Miguel, for your insight into Sea of Thieves, which was shown at the Xbox Showcase this year. And for all your E3 2017 coverage, be sure to subscribe to GameSpot.